Liam, how are you? You must be hyped as a former Aberdeen player. On top of that, you must be revving for this game.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. I'm really looking forward to it. I spent the year there on loan before last season, and it was a brilliant year for me. Really enjoyed it, and now it's good to see them doing well. But we're really focused on winning the game on the weekend.
Nice. Can you please paint a picture for me? One of my dreams is to go to Scotland and see one of these really big matchups. We get to see it through a screen. Tell me what it's going to be like, the atmosphere at the game this weekend.
Yeah, we're at home, so at Celtic Park, the atmosphere is always brilliant. There's usually 60,000 fans there. It's electric, they get behind the team really well, and sort of the buzz around the stadium before kickoff will be brilliant, considering it's a top of the table clash as well. The fans will be really excited for it.
Liam, I found out about Celtic Football Club when Henrik Larsson was leading the line, and I was a striker myself, so I had this role model, and he was incredible, and I got a chance to go play Celtic as a youth, and I just was so inspired by the club and the supporters and the atmosphere. But to see you as a kind of a late bloomer, you go to university, and then you had the opportunity to trial in England and go to England, but you decided to stay. Well, talk to me about how you came to Celtic and how you were able to evolve as a defender.
Yeah, it's probably like an unusual path for a professional player to take. I got a scholarship in UCD in Ireland, in Dublin. So I was there for 3 years. I played 3.5 seasons with the first team there in the Irish Premier Division and in the First Division as well. And then I went to Shamrock Rovers from there for, I think, 18 months. And I kicked on, did really well. And from there, I got the move to Celtic. And I needed the year in Aberdeen to sort of get to the speed of the Scottish League and get some experience. And it's been brilliant since I've come back. But yeah, it was a different path to usual, but I wouldn't change anything. I learned a lot, and I played a lot of games. I played a lot of senior football, but maybe people my age were still playing in under 23 teams in England. They're not playing at all. I was playing every week, playing senior football, really learning from experience. So I wouldn't change the way I came through, and I really like to see other players sort of doing the same thing.
Liam, were you ever recruited to come play college soccer in the United States? Because I did the same thing. I did 2.5 years of college before going over to Sweden. It feels like you'd be a perfect example of someone who, maybe come over to university in America and then go through the MLS pathway.
Yeah, there was talk of it, and I know people my age sort of some did that. Some went to the US and did their college there. But I think what happened with me was I had the interest, and the scholarship was there on the table, and I sort of just went and took it. I didn't really think twice about it. But looking back now, I think the life experience of moving over to the States and doing it that way, I almost wish I did it. But at the same time, I can't complain, because it's brought me to here. Yeah.
Liam, part of my ignorance, can you shed a little bit of light on the university experience in Ireland while playing football? I know how it works from the American perspective, kind of a little bit of what you see in the movies too, the fraternities and stuff like that. It's pretty accurate. I don't know how it's like in Ireland.
Yeah, well, it's probably a bit different, It's it was brilliant. My whole team for the 3 years in UCD, we were all students. We were all on scholarships, and we all most of us lived together on a campus. So we had the sort of usual student lifestyle, and then we go and train 3 times a week in the evening after lectures, and we play a game on the weekend. And we were successful. We started in the First Division, which is the second tier of Irish football, and we won that and got promoted into the Premier Division. But with a really young team, everyone in between the ages of 18 and 21. I think the main difference is that our team, even though it's a university team, we play in the National League. So that's probably the main difference.
Do you guys get paid, I assume?
No one got paid. We were all on scholarships, so all of our education was covered, and our
Similar to
accommodation
US
was covered.
in that fashion.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got a chance to so my mother's side of the family is Irish, from Cork, and I had never been to Ireland, but when I went over to play professional soccer, football in Sweden, we ended up playing Cork City in the Europa League qualifying.
Oh,
so
wow.
I got a chance to go to Ireland and experience it. I was like, man, I feel home. Like this is cool. Liam, you got the opportunity to break through at Celtic, and I think it's important because we have so many American players that go over to big clubs in Europe, but necessarily don't play first team minutes. We're always wondering, hey, when's that opportunity going to come? You took a loan to Aberdeen and you played. And now look at you, you're starring for the club that you always dreamed of. Can you talk about that experience at Aberdeen? What did you learn, besides just playing every day? How did you become a complete defender?
I wouldn't say I'm complete yet, but I'm trying my best to get there. But over the course of the season, I was playing every week, and it's the best way to learn is to be playing minutes and playing against good sides. Like, you can learn so much on the training ground and from the coaches, but I think most of your development comes from playing games, and that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to go out and play games. The manager who brought me there was Irish, and he actually tried to bring me over a couple of years before when I was at Shamrock Rovers. So he was keen on me, and I knew he trusted me to play, and that really helped, that I could go there knowing that as long as I met the standards that I needed to meet, I would have chances to play. So it was a brilliant, and the best way for me to have improved as a player was to be playing games, and that's what I did there.
Hey, Liam, give yourself some credit, man. I mean, not only have you guys only conceded once all season long, you scored in the Champions League. That must have been pretty epic.
Yeah, no, it was a great feeling. If you watch the goal back, I scored a header, I sort of stumble, and then I'm thinking I'm going to go into the corner and do a knee slide, but then I get pushed and held down, so I didn't get the chance to,
They ruined your
celebrate properly.
Moment.
Yeah, but we'll take the goal anyway. It was a great feeling.
How much were you practicing that celebration?
No, it was off the cuff. I don't practice celebrations because I'm not expecting to score, but usually when I do, I just get a bit, you just see the joy and I'm jumping and whatever. But my friend had said to me, come on, if you score again, like, you got to do a knee slide, especially in front of the fans in the corner, the Green Brigade are there. So I tried, but I got stopped, unfortunately, but hopefully next time I can.
What about an Irish jig? What about some switching it up? Maybe a little dance,
No, I'm not much of a dancer, to be honest. I'd embarrass myself.
Okay. Yeah. So you also play with two U.S. internationals, in Austin Trusty and Cameron Carter-Vickers. Can you shed some light on what they're like in training? Have you had any, you're playing small side, any good challenges on those two? And how have you seen those two develop?
They're top players. To be honest, I'd stay away from them in training because they're the two big guys, they're the ones who'll sort of eat you up in a tackle. So usually I'm on the opposite team and I'm on the opposite end of the pitch to them. But no, they're top players, and I've obviously played a lot with Cam last year, and now I've played a few games with Austin since he's come in, and both of them are brilliant footballers. So it's good to have that sort of competition, I suppose, in the position, and also to have partners you're going to play with that you can trust and are top players.
Liam, well, we wish you the best of luck this weekend against Aberdeen. Two unbeaten sides. It's going to be absolutely awesome to watch. Best of luck.